Suddenly unfamiliar, I want you to listen closely. Something you drink every single day may be silently weakening your collagen, and almost no one explains this clearly. This is not about expensive treatments, complicated routines, or quick miracles that disappear as fast as they promise results. For years, US physicians and researchers from major universities have been seriously studying hydration, aging skin, collagen loss, and why standard advice often falls short. Before we begin, comment your age, subscribe to this channel, and stay till the end so we can build a supportive, informed community focused on healthy aging together. Today we are using a structured countdown system, starting with step number 5, and the order matters because doing this incorrectly can increase inflammation and slow results. Many adults over 50 are told to drink more water, yet they still notice dry skin, sagging texture, and a lack of firmness that no moisturizer seems to fix. That disconnect creates confusion and quiet frustration. You are doing what you were advised, but your skin is not responding. What most people do not realize is that hydration at this stage of life is no longer just about volume. It is about delivery, retention, and cellular access. As we age, the body's ability to hold on to water inside tissues changes, especially in the skin where collagen lives. Simply adding more plain water can sometimes dilute critical minerals, leaving cells hydrated on paper, but functionally dry where it matters most. From a biological perspective, water does not move into cells on its own. It follows minerals. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, and trace elements act like electrical signals that guide water into the spaces where collagen fibers are built and maintained. After age 50, kidney filtration changes and mineral losses increase, while absorption efficiency in the gut slowly declines. Doctors observing older adults often see a pattern where people drink frequently, urinate frequently, and still show signs of dehydration in the skin. The issue is not effort, it is physiology. Here is where things get interesting. Collagen fibers are surrounded by water, and that water gives skin its plumpness and flexibility. When mineral levels drop, water cannot stay bound to those fibers. Skin becomes thin, fragile, and slow to repair. This is why some older adults describe their skin as crepey or paper-like, even though they drink throughout the day. Doctors were surprised to find that improving mineral balance often changed skin texture without increasing total water intake. Inside your body, minerals create osmotic pressure. This pressure pulls water through cell membranes and keeps it there. Without that pressure, water rushes through the system and exits quickly. You may recognize this pattern as frequent urination with persistent thirst. When the skin does not receive stable hydration, collagen production slows, and existing collagen breaks down faster, especially in an inflammatory environment. The method to correct this is simple but precise. Once or twice daily, add a small pinch of natural mineral salt to a glass of water. This should be done in the morning or early afternoon when the body is most receptive to hydration. The goal is not to make the water taste salty, but to restore mineral signaling. This approach supports absorption rather than overwhelming the system. For those sensitive to salt, mineral drops or naturally mineralized water can be used instead. Doctors observing older patients noticed that when mineral-supported hydration was introduced, skin appeared more resilient within weeks. Patients reported less tightness, fewer dry patches, and a more even texture. This change occurred before any visible wrinkle improvement, which is important because it shows the foundation was being rebuilt. Hydration is not cosmetic, it is structural. What you are experiencing is real. This is not your fault. This is not just aging. Aging changes the rules, and continuing to play by old rules produces disappointing results. Mineral-supported hydration prepares the body for everything that follows. Protein cannot build collagen efficiently in dry tissue. Anti-inflammatory strategies work better when cells are properly hydrated. Hormones signal more effectively in a balanced mineral environment. There is also a timing component that matters. Drinking large volumes of plain water late in the day can dilute minerals further and disrupt sleep. Concentrating mineralized hydration earlier supports skin repair while respecting hormonal rhythms. This small adjustment often makes a noticeable difference in how skin feels by evening. This step matters because it sets the stage. Without it, everything else struggles to work. With it, the body becomes receptive again. Skin cells respond not because you forced them, but because you finally gave them what they need to listen and repair. Many people over 50 believe they are eating enough protein, yet their skin continues to thin, wrinkle, and lose firmness. That disconnect can feel discouraging because it seems like you are already doing what nutrition advice recommends. What most people do not realize is that aging changes how protein is digested, absorbed, and ultimately used to build collagen. The issue is rarely about willpower or neglect. It is about efficiency. After 60, the body often struggles to turn dietary protein into usable building blocks for skin repair, even when intake appears adequate. Biologically, collagen is a protein framework made from specific amino acids, mainly glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline. These amino acids give skin its strength and elasticity. As stomach acid naturally declines with age, protein breakdown becomes less complete. Doctors observing older adults frequently find that protein reaches the gut but does not fully convert into absorbable amino acids. This means collagen production slows, not because the body stopped caring, but because it lacks properly prepared materials. This is where things get interesting. Studies and clinical observations show that older adults often have normal protein intake on paper, yet still show low collagen markers in skin and connective tissue. Doctors were surprised to find that improving protein form and timing produced visible skin changes without increasing total calories. The body was not asking for more food, it was asking for more usable protein. Here is what happens inside your body. When protein is broken down efficiently, amino acids enter the bloodstream and are directed toward tissues with the highest repair demand. Aging skin constantly signals for repair due to daily wear, inflammation, and environmental exposure. If amino acids are scarce or poorly absorbed, the body prioritizes organs and muscles, leaving skin undersupported. Over time, this shows up as sagging, fine lines, and slower healing. This is not your fault. What you are experiencing is real, and it is not just aging in a passive sense. It is a supply issue. Collagen peptides or easily digestible protein sources help bridge this gap. These forms are already partially broken down, which reduces the digestive workload. Doctors noticed that older adults tolerated these forms better, with less bloating and more consistent results. The recommended approach is precise. Around 15 to 20 grams of collagen peptides or high-quality protein once daily is sufficient for most older adults. Timing matters. Taking it in the morning or with breakfast aligns with higher digestive capacity and supports hormone-driven repair processes. This timing also avoids competition with heavier meals later in the day, improving absorption. Protein does more than build structure. It influences hormones involved in skin repair, including insulin-like growth factors that signal collagen production. When protein intake is inconsistent or poorly absorbed, these hormonal signals weaken. Doctors observed that once protein support became consistent, skin often appeared more resilient before wrinkles visibly softened. That resilience is an early sign that collagen scaffolding is strengthening beneath the surface. Inflammation also plays a role. Without adequate protein, the body struggles to repair inflammation-related damage. This leads to a cycle where collagen breaks down faster than it can be rebuilt. Improving protein availability helps slow this cycle. Patients often report that skin feels less fragile and more comfortable, especially in dry environments. There is also a psychological element that should not be ignored. Many older adults feel betrayed by their bodies when visible aging accelerates despite effort. Understanding that absorption, not effort, is the missing factor brings relief. Doctors frequently note improved adherence when patients realize they are correcting a biological limitation rather than chasing cosmetic promises. This step naturally leads to the next one because protein repair cannot succeed in an inflamed environment. Once the body receives the right building blocks in a usable form, it becomes possible to protect those structures from breakdown. Protein sets the foundation, but inflammation determines whether that foundation holds. Many adults over 50 notice that despite good hydration, proper protein intake, and attention to nutrition, their skin still feels fragile, appears uneven, and seems to age faster than expected. This is not a sign of failure or neglect. What most people do not realize is that low-grade, chronic inflammation plays a critical role in collagen breakdown and accelerates visible aging, particularly in women over 60. Inflammation silently disrupts the balance between collagen production and destruction, creating a situation where even excellent nutrition cannot fully restore skin integrity. Biologically, inflammation triggers immune responses that release enzymes known as matrix metalloproteinases. These enzymes directly degrade collagen fibers and other connective tissue proteins. As we age, the body's regulation of these enzymes weakens, causing collagen to break down faster than it can be replaced. Doctors studying older adults observed that patients with higher systemic inflammation showed more pronounced wrinkles, sagging, and fine lines, even when their diets and hydration appeared ideal. This suggests that inflammation is not just a cosmetic concern, it is a structural one that dictates the integrity of the skin matrix itself. Here is what happens inside your body. Inflammatory signals arise from multiple sources, including oxidative stress, dietary patterns, environmental toxins, and metabolic imbalance. Once activated, these signals travel to skin cells, signaling for repair mechanisms to slow down while prioritizing defense against perceived threats. This diversion reduces collagen synthesis, and older adults often experience delayed healing, dryness, and a thinner skin barrier. What doctors found surprising is that many patients with seemingly balanced nutrition still exhibited markers of persistent inflammation, highlighting that diet alone is insufficient if inflammation is not actively managed. This is where things get interesting. Inflammation is often invisible, showing few symptoms until structural damage has already occurred. Patients reported feeling frustrated because standard advice, drink water, take protein, moisturize, did not stop their skin from sagging. Doctors were surprised to find that targeted interventions to calm inflammation could restore a noticeable resilience in the skin, even in adults over 60. These interventions do not require prescription drugs or invasive procedures, but involve simple, consistent lifestyle adjustments that work synergistically with existing nutrition and hydration strategies. The biological mechanism is clear. Chronic inflammation promotes oxidative stress, which further degrades collagen and elastin. In addition, inflammation interferes with the body's hormonal signals that regulate skin repair. Cortisol, for example, rises in response to stress and inflammation and signals the body to conserve resources, slowing collagen synthesis. By reducing inflammatory triggers, these hormonal pathways regain efficiency, allowing collagen and connective tissue to repair and strengthen naturally. In older adults, restoring this balance can result in firmer, more elastic skin even before visible wrinkles are reduced. Doctors observing older patients found that dietary and lifestyle measures targeting inflammation were particularly effective. Simple additions such as turmeric, omega-3 fatty acids from fish or flax, and polyphenol-rich foods like berries acted as systemic modulators of inflammation. Even modest adjustments led to measurable reductions in inflammatory markers, and patients reported improved skin texture, elasticity, and comfort. In many cases, these changes were noticeable within weeks, reinforcing the importance of addressing inflammation early and consistently. The timing and combination of interventions also matter. Inflammation tends to spike after certain meals or at times of high oxidative stress. By pairing anti-inflammatory strategies with protein and mineral-supported hydration, the body is able to maximize collagen repair rather than merely slowing degradation. Patients who followed structured timing reported smoother, more hydrated skin, and less redness or irritation. This sequence is critical because doing it out of order, ignoring inflammation while increasing protein or hydration, can limit the benefits and prolong visible signs of aging. What most people do not realize is that inflammation control is not only about what you add to your diet, but also what you avoid. Highly processed foods, excessive sugar, and prolonged stress can perpetuate inflammatory cycles that directly attack collagen. Doctors consistently observed that patients who combined anti-inflammatory nutrition, stress reduction, and proper timing of hydration and protein experienced synergistic improvements. The body responds when inflammation is minimized, allowing the repair mechanisms to work efficiently, turning the focus from damage control to active regeneration. Hormones play a far more significant role in skin health than most adults over 50 realize. As we age, especially after 60, the natural production of key hormones such as estrogen, testosterone, and growth factors declines. This reduction affects not just energy levels or mood, but also collagen production, skin elasticity, and the overall ability to repair structural proteins. What most people do not recognize is that hydration and nutrition alone cannot overcome hormonal imbalances. Even perfectly timed protein and mineral intake can fall short if the body's hormonal signaling is impaired. Doctors studying older adults have repeatedly found that the timing of hydration and nutrient intake in relation to hormonal cycles significantly impacts the effectiveness of collagen repair and skin regeneration. Biologically, hormones act as messengers that trigger repair mechanisms in cells throughout the body, including the skin. Estrogen, for example, enhances collagen synthesis and improves skin thickness. When estrogen levels drop after menopause, collagen production slows, making skin thinner, less elastic, and more prone to wrinkles. Growth hormone and insulin-like growth factor signaling also decline with age, reducing the speed at which cells can regenerate and recover from damage. Doctors observing older adults noted that even patients with optimal protein intake and hydration still exhibited reduced skin firmness if hormonal signals were weak or misaligned. This demonstrates that nutrition and hydration are necessary but not sufficient without proper hormonal timing. Here's what happens inside your body. Hormones fluctuate throughout the day and are influenced by sleep, circadian rhythms, stress, and nutrient availability. Cortisol, the stress hormone, peaks in the morning and regulates the body's energy and repair processes. When hydration or protein intake occurs at times that do not align with these hormonal peaks, collagen synthesis can be less effective. Conversely, synchronizing hydration and protein with periods of higher repair signaling allows the body to prioritize skin restoration. Doctors were surprised to discover that patients who adjusted the timing of their nutrient intake to hormonal cycles experienced improved skin elasticity and hydration without increasing total intake or taking additional supplements. What most people do not understand is that this is not simply about drinking water or taking protein at random times. The body's repair mechanisms respond dynamically to signals from hormones, and age-related changes require adjustments to these routines. Studies from major universities indicate that older adults who align hydration, protein, and anti-inflammatory interventions with circadian and hormonal rhythms show measurable improvements in skin collagen density and structural integrity. These changes occur even in individuals who had previously struggled with thinning, sagging, or dry skin despite following conventional advice. The method is precise yet simple. Morning hydration, especially with mineral-supported water, primes the body for repair while aligning with natural cortisol peaks. Protein intake in the early part of the day provides amino acids when hormone signaling for tissue repair is most active. Late night or poorly timed nutrient intake can interfere with these processes, reducing the effectiveness of all other interventions. Doctors observed that older adults who adopted this timing strategy reported not only better skin hydration and firmness, but also enhanced energy and reduced feelings of fatigue throughout the day, demonstrating the systemic benefits of proper hormonal alignment. Hormones also interact with inflammation, another critical factor in skin aging. When cortisol or other stress-related hormones are chronically elevated, inflammatory pathways increase, further degrading collagen and slowing repair. By timing hydration and nutrient intake to work in harmony with hormonal patterns, The body is able to reduce inflammation more effectively, allowing repair mechanisms to function without interference. This step connects directly to the prior points of mineral hydration and protein support because these interventions only reach full efficacy when hormonal signaling is optimized. Doctors emphasize that this is not a cosmetic adjustment, it is a physiological one. Hormonal timing ensures that the resources provided by hydration, protein, and anti-inflammatory support are directed efficiently to the tissues that need them most. Patients observe that when this alignment is achieved, the skin becomes more resilient, firmer, and capable of responding to repair strategies in a way that previously seemed impossible. Even small adjustments in timing, consistently applied, produce meaningful results over weeks and months, demonstrating the critical role hormones play in maintaining skin structure and collagen integrity after 50. Many adults over 50 are surprised to learn that drinking plain water, even in large amounts, may not be enough to maintain healthy, firm skin. What most people do not realize is that hydration after 50 is no longer just about volume, it is about cellular access and mineral balance. As we age, the body's ability to retain water within cells diminishes. Kidneys filter minerals differently, absorption in the gut changes, and skin cells lose the efficiency with which they hold moisture. Doctors observing older adults noticed a consistent pattern. Patients who drank plenty of water throughout the day still exhibited dryness, crepiness, and sagging skin, indicating that hydration was not reaching the areas that mattered most. From a biological perspective, water alone cannot restore collagen or maintain skin elasticity. Cells rely on electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium, and trace minerals to guide water into the intracellular spaces. These minerals create osmotic gradients that pull water into the cells, hydrating them effectively. Without these essential elements, water passes through the system without entering the tissue, and collagen fibers remain dehydrated and brittle. What you are experiencing is real, and it is not your fault. Aging changes the physiology of hydration, and continuing to follow the drink more water advice from earlier decades is insufficient for maintaining structural integrity in skin over 60. This is where things get interesting. Doctors were surprised to find that even small adjustments in mineral intake could dramatically change the way water is absorbed at a cellular level. Patients who added natural mineral salts or used mineral-enriched water reported firmer, more resilient skin in a matter of weeks. The science behind this is simple yet profound. Minerals act as the key regulators of water distribution. Sodium and potassium, for example, work together to maintain electrochemical gradients across cell membranes, allowing water to flow into tissues that require hydration for repair and maintenance. Magnesium supports enzymatic processes that reinforce collagen synthesis, while trace minerals such as zinc influence tissue regeneration. Without these minerals, the body can drink gallons of water and still leave skin structurally dehydrated. Doctors also observed that mineral-supported hydration had cascading effects on other systems. Once cells were adequately hydrated, protein supplementation became more effective, inflammation was reduced, and hormonal signals that control tissue repair were able to function optimally. This explains why older adults often plateau despite following conventional hydration and nutrition advice. Without proper mineral balance, the body cannot utilize the resources provided to it. What most people do not understand is that this step sets the stage for everything else that follows in collagen support and anti-aging strategies. The practical application is straightforward. A small pinch of natural mineral salt in a glass of water consumed in the morning or early afternoon provides sufficient electrolytes to facilitate proper hydration. The taste should be barely noticeable. The goal is to restore cellular signaling rather than to flavor the water. For those who prefer, naturally mineralized water or trace mineral drops can achieve the same effect. Timing is critical. Early day intake aligns with circadian rhythms, allowing repair processes to activate when hormonal and enzymatic activity is at its peak. Drinking large volumes of plain water late in the day can disrupt this balance, diluting minerals and potentially interfering with sleep or repair mechanisms. What doctors noticed was remarkable. Patients reported that within weeks, their skin felt less tight, more supple, and better able to retain moisture. Early signs of plumpness and elasticity appeared before any visible reduction in wrinkles or fine lines. This demonstrates that hydration is structural rather than cosmetic. It provides the foundation on which protein, anti-inflammatory nutrients, and hormonal support can operate effectively. Without this foundation, subsequent steps are limited in their efficacy. Mineral-supported hydration also addresses common age-related issues beyond skin. Cellular hydration impacts joint function, energy metabolism, and cognitive clarity. By restoring electrolyte balance, the body can better perform repair and maintenance tasks at the tissue level, allowing the benefits of nutrition, protein, and anti-inflammatory measures to amplify. Doctors consistently emphasize that achieving proper hydration in older adults is not a matter of drinking more water. It is a matter of making the water work for the cells that need it most. This step is the critical first building block in any comprehensive strategy to improve skin health, maintain collagen, and support overall tissue integrity after 50. Consistency is the cornerstone of visible improvement in skin health for adults over 50. What most people do not realize is that collagen rebuilding, hydration, and repair processes do not respond to single interventions, but to repeated daily support. Even small lapses in routine can slow progress because aging tissues require steady stimulation to maintain cellular function. Doctors observing older adults noted that those who followed a structured, predictable routine experienced measurable improvements in firmness, elasticity, and overall skin texture, whereas irregular habits produced limited results despite adherence to nutrition or hydration guidelines. Morning routines that combine mineral-supported hydration with protein intake activate repair processes when hormonal signaling is most favorable. Midday adjustments, such as light hydration and anti-inflammatory foods, support ongoing cellular activity without overwhelming the system. Evening routines focus on reducing fluid intake and promoting rest, allowing repair mechanisms to function during sleep. Timing and sequence matter because the body's enzymatic and hormonal systems operate in cycles. Misalignment can reduce absorption and efficiency, slowing collagen production and leaving tissues more prone to inflammation. Setting realistic expectations reinforces the importance of patience. By weeks 4 to 6, subtle improvements appear. Around 3 months, skin shows visible firmness and smoother texture, and by 6 months, consistent adherence produces noticeable and lasting results. This approach emphasizes precision and sustainability rather than shortcuts or temporary fixes, aligning with evidence observed in